Very good afternoon to all of you. Hopefully, all of you will be in the best of shape. Okay, life will be going on easy. So, in today's lecture, we are going to discuss converter analysis. Yes, converter analysis part 2, and this is a very important aspect of converters because through this aspect only we are going to understand what exactly does power flow in a converter means, what we understand by the flow of power for a converter. So before proceeding further, I would like to explain the input current, as it is quite visible to all of us that this is the wave shape of input current. Okay, it looks like this, or I can say that it is a specific case of single pulse PWM wave. As most of us are not familiar with PWM, but I will still like to take the opportunity to explain that for this kind of waves, for the Fourier analysis of these kind of waves, only one thing is required, that is the pulse width. What is the width of pulse? Excuse me, just for a moment. Okay, so if the pulse width is 2D, then the width of a single wave will be t, will take t, and a specific term that is defined is called as gamma. Gamma needs to be defined every time. Gamma is nothing but it is pi by 2 in our case. That is, if the pulse width is 2D and if it is single pulse in 1/2 cycle, then gamma is going to be pi by 2. It is given by the formula that it is pi minus 2d by n plus 1 plus d by n. Yes. So when you will put the value of n equals to 1 in that formula, then we are sure to get gamma equals to pi by 2. So this is 4vdc by n pi sin nd sin n omega naught t. Now coming back to its Fourier expression, the Fourier expression is quite clear, that is 4vdc by n pi sin nd sin n omega naught t. Okay, and I had already explained the formula of gamma, that is pi minus 2d divided by n plus 1. So when you put n equals to 1, then it becomes pi by 2 minus d by n, d by 2, and we will simply add d by n to it. Okay, now the waveform seems like this. The current becomes 4vdc by n pi sin n pi by 3, because generally the conduction angle, this conduction angle is 120 degree, that is 2d is 120, so d becomes pi by 3. Then we are simply going to integrate it, and we are going there to get the IRMS value, the RMS value of current. I had already discussed the current distortion factor, so no need to but I will again going to recall this thing because it is important, that the IS RMS value is under root 2 by 3 I naught. Okay, because as you can see from this expression quite clear, that 4 pi by 3 is the basically angle, that is 2 times 240 degrees is the angle for which the current is I naught. So the RMS value becomes this. Okay, we can also get IS1 peak, that is 4 I naught by pi root 2 sin pi by 3. Okay, so after that I will straight away come to the converter analysis. That is very important. Have a look at this converter. Simply have a look at this converter. If we look at the fundamental, okay, the power that is we are going at the output, then that power is going to be the output average voltage into output current. The output average voltage is 3 root 3 by pi Vm cos alpha. Obviously the conduction mode is CCM here. The output current is going to be I naught. So when we will multiply this thing, then the power that we are going to obtain is 3 VML by pi cos alpha into I naught. I think till this point it is very easy. We have obtained the active power. Now let us look at the angle between VF and ISS, that is the fundamental. So the fundamental will be a sine wave, so its RMS value will be VML by root 2, that is root 3 VM by root 2. The fundamental current value will be 4 pi naught by 4 I naught by pi sine pi by 3 obviously, and root 3 VL into IL cos alpha, okay, will give us the power. Okay, are you getting the converter analysis? That is because in this converter the power that is being transferred is obviously because of the fundamental component, because in the input side all the other components beside the fundamental component of voltage are absent. So the power transfer is mainly because of the fundamental component. Yes, fundamental component of voltage is multiplied with the fundamental component of current, and this results into the net power flow from the input side to the output side, that is from the source side to the load side. I think it is quite clear at this point. Okay, now the line voltage value is nothing but root 3 times Vm phase voltage, and 4 pi naught by pi sine pi by 3 upon root 2. Obviously this 4 I naught by pi sine pi by 3 is the peak value, divided by root 2 will give us the RMS value. I think till this point we are quite clear, and this is cos phi equals to cos alpha. Okay, now, or we can take it as cos phi also, it hardly matters. Okay, now if we take this value, yes, so this is basically nothing but when we are going to solve this thing, then we are going to obtain 3 root 3 by Vm pi I naught cos alpha. That is exactly the power that we are obtaining when we are only concerned about the average component, average output voltage and average output current. So the reality that we are talking about, that the power transfer is mainly because of the fundamental component, is proved here. Okay, and obviously we all are well aware that the power factor, the fundamental power factor is alpha. Okay, I think there should be no doubt till this point. Now have a look at this. Now this output can be used for the derivation of input power factor. Yes, we can also obtain the input power factor, that is, we will select, obviously we will take the phase voltage, that is Vm by root 2. Okay, then the phase current, obviously the RMS value, that is I naught by root 2 by 3. That's why in the beginning of this lecture I had discussed the value of output current, the value of source RMS current. I had shown you that value, and that is I naught into under root 2 by 3. I think it is here. This is the value under root 2 by 3 I naught. Okay, and I have also shown you the peak value of the fundamental current, that's 4 I naught by pi sine pi by 3. Okay, till this point is very clear, there is no doubt. Now extremely sorry. So when we are going to obtain the expression of power, this is for one phase, Vs is RMS into cos phi is for one phase. Now we are going to multiply it by 3. When we will multiply it by 3, then we are sure to get the phase voltage, phase power, that is V phase into I phase into cos phi, 3 times will be the total power, and this should be equals to the power in the form of average. That power that we are obtaining either from the fundamental, we can interpret it as the power from the fundamental, or we can interpret it as the power from the average output component. This is the power. Now we are going to equate both the parts, and upon equating we are getting that all the terms will get cancelled out, and cos phi is coming out to be 3 by pi into cos of alpha. So I think that there's no need of cramming this thing. Many people cram that 3 by pi cos alpha is the input power factor, but in this part it is quite clear that it is 3 by pi cos of alpha, 0.955 times cos alpha. So this is the best converter analysis that's possible. Hopefully all of you have understood this lecture. I will see you in the